This is Joseph Flayev. Stop what you're doing. Stop and take a look at this. Everybody needs a brand. And the good thing is, everybody has a brand. You have a brand. You need a brand to get your next job, to get your next promotion. You need a brand to start and grow your own business. The great thing is, you already have one. If you have ever opened a social media account on anything, if you ever posted anything, you have a brand. Voila! It's done. The bad news is, if you aren't actively cultivating your brand, it's probably not what you want. What is your brand? What does it say? Or what does it mean? What kind of impression are you making right now with your brand in the market for that promotion or that job or that business you want to start someday? You probably don't have exactly the brand you want, and that's bad. Here's what a good brand can do for you. This really happened recently. I walked into the office of a general manager and whom we'd never met the guy before. He shook my hand and said, "I've read your book. I've been to your website. I've read your articles, read your LinkedIn and your Twitter profiles. I like what you have to say, and I like your perspective." I was kind of shocked and flattered. "Here's what I'm thinking about for a project," he said. And we went straight to talking about the project. Wasn't a lot of time talking about me and my profile. I didn't have to sell myself. I didn't have to convince him of my knowledge and experience, expertise. Didn't have to tell him all about myself. My brand had told him about myself. It was so nice to just skip all the, get to know you stuff and go straight to getting to work, right? That's what it's supposed to do. I've worked for many years, though, on my brand. I've really worked hard. I've made a lot of mistakes, and I can share those with you, and I will. But I've also done a lot of things right, and I want to share those with you, too. So I'm holding a webinar on your Agile Coach brand. And here's a little exercise that I want you to try just before to see if you want to attend this webinar. Okay? Pause this video in a second, and in another tab, search on my name, Joseph Flayev. Look at the General tab, look at the Images tab, look at the Videos tabs. Look at all those tabs, right? Take note of what's there. And then I want you to look on another tab for your name. Type in your first and last names and take a look at the General tab, the Images tab, and the Videos tabs. What do you find? What did you see there? Was the majority of the first couple pages, not the first couple of entries, was it about you? Was it your content, your data? Was it things you had developed, information you had provided to people? Does it say what you want it to say? When someone drops on that page, if a CEO that you're trying to impress drops on that page and looks you up, or a future employer, which they do, right? I read a statistic recently that 60% of employers admit to looking on social media and looking people up, Googling people to check them out before they hire them. So if you think that it's something that only a few people do, 60% of people admit to it. Larger percentage of them, I'm quite sure, do it. And what you saw on that page is like 10 seconds. It's only a 10-second search. While you can't really get rid of the things that are there, the good news is that you can overwhelm it with new data. You know, Google and search engines, they all like new things. So you can overwhelm it with new information, but you have to be strategic about doing that. In this webinar, I'm going to show you 3 keys to building your Agile Coach brand. First, I'll show you a super fast way to create tons of content. It sounds flashy and markety, but I want you to come to the webinar, and it really works well. So I want to show you how this way of going about creating fast content. I want to talk to you a little bit about haters and why you want them on the internet. And I also want to share what I've been finding recently as my ultimate brand building secret weapon. It's the thing that I have found recently has done me the most good, and I want to share with you how I do it and what it's doing for me. So I also want to share what you might be doing to screw that thing up, because if you aren't taking precautions, you might be missing the boat with that super secret weapon. This webinar will be right for you. This webinar is right for you if you want to get a raise or a promotion, if you are an independent coach, or if you want to make sales easier, or want to be an independent coach someday, right? Maybe you're not today, but you're thinking about doing it someday in the future. If that's you, then this is the right webinar for you. You need this to lay the foundation today. This webinar will be great for you. All you have to do is register now. There's a button right here on the page. Just click that register now button. There it is. Just click that register now button. You might be wondering why I would do all this and do it for free. Well, I'm a nice guy for one thing, but there's 3 reasons. First, I know that a percentage of you will want to work with me as a business coach. Recently, several Agile coaches started coming to me and saying, hey, Joseph, can you help me build my brand, build my business? And after the 3rd or 4th one, I was like, I'm sensing a pattern here. Maybe I should offer this as a service. So I know that some of you who will attend the webinar will want to work with me as a coach. Second, I'll be holding a class on it as well. So that's one-on-one coaching, but I'll also be holding a class on brand building for Agile coaches. So it give you information about that class in the webinar. And third, I really like to help. I just literally got off the phone before this, or actually it was a Google Hangouts session with a guy in another country, just talking about his brand and what he's doing, and just helping him with his work. It was a pre-call, trying to find out where he's at and what he wants to do, and provided him with a whole bunch of useful information and help, and he'll be doing great work. I am thoroughly convinced. So mostly I just like helping people. It's coaches, you as a coach, you have the best job in the world. Don't we have the best job in the world? We get to help people improve their lives. And it's so cool. And I'm flattered to be helping people improve their lives as Agile coaches. I probably gave away too much. Like on that call I was just on, totally basically coached the guy for free for half an hour. Good stuff though. But oh well, it's my time. I can do what I want. So now is your time to register. Register for this webinar. It's right over there. Click on the register button and we'll see you at the webinar. Click on it. Click on it. It's right there. Go for it. All right. It's free. And the ultimate brand building secret weapon. Seriously, that little piece of the time is going to be worth it all by itself. That would be worth your time attending the webinar. So click on that register now button and we'll see you at the webinar.